Delaware in the building. Y'all ain't ready for the Delaware takeover. Y'all not ready for this unique style and creativity that everybody in the world wants to see. Nas and Jay is bringing it, and everything they bring got that Delaware swag.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
This is Jay Street, your singer-songwriter, artivist, youth advocate. I'm probably forgetting one of the million terms that I should be using for myself. But here I am, happy to see you on this beautiful spring evening.
Woo! My name is Naja Nicole. What can I say about myself? Well,
So much.
I love going to the beach, and I love animals, and I have an odd obsession with NPR.
Which I think is cool, actually.
It's smart.
I will also tell you that I recently discovered that Naja listens
All right.
to AM radio.
Wow.
Which I find to be endearing. So I support that, you know?
I give an inch, and you take a whole mile.
Well, that's what light-skinned people do. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Welcome to your evening sip of local news. What's happening in real world mess and chat.
There is a lot of mess today. We're going to have fun, but...
Are we?
We are.
Are we?
We're going to have fun. I'm going to give them a little heads up about what they have coming.
So we're going to talk about getting drunk without getting drunk. We're going to talk about Brandywine High School and the mess that happened today. We're also going to talk about ice cream.
And much more. And we have a very moving segment. I hope you'll find it to be moving regarding an event that we went to on Friday. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it.
Okay. Flowers So I'm going to do this because I know it's going to make you itch. So last week, Jay gave me flowers, but I have to give you flowers this week. So I don't know if you've noticed, but Jay has been all over the interwebs posting his photography from shows and things. Can you just take it?
Yeah. Yes.
And he has gotten really good in a very short amount of time. So much so that people are requesting him to come to events and shoot. He takes these really incredible, like, black and white photos in mid-performance that are, like, breathtaking. And he's gotten compliments from some of the top photographers in our state. So I want to give him flowers because Naja don't touch the camera, okay? I just can't do it. It ain't my thing. It ain't my ministry.
You could.
That ain't what this about. That ain't what this about. Oh, my God. He's really good. He hasn't quite gotten the best portrait of me yet, which is really hard to do. But one day he'll get there. Otherwise, Jay, I'm very proud of you. All this tech crap that I hate, that makes me nervous, makes me itch, he has learned to a T. Like, all of this is happening because he's a nerd. And I'm very proud of you. So,
thank you. Thank you very much. It's been fun to learn the camera, and I should then give flowers again to Sam Wilson for guiding me in the right direction in terms of what to purchase. And I have been leaning on him throughout my sort of progress of learning how to use this bad boy. And it's been enjoyable, and it's really been a blessing to have someone like him help me out. So,
it's been wonderful learning together.
Uh-oh. That's pretty good, though. Yeah.
Okay. I want to show you this video, the Clifford Brown video.
Yes.
Flowers to all of the artists that performed at Clifford Brown Year Round on Friday. Yes. Incredible. Everybody. Jeff
Atakura.
Yes. And the Blues Reincarnation Band. And everybody. Heroy, like, everybody was so good.
Before I even play it, I want to say this. I'm glad you pulled this up from the beginning. I love Heroy. And I love his trio because you get this really great blend of three very distinct personalities.
Yes.
If you guys know Mike Boone, He is one of the regional masters on that bass.
Yes.
He's soulful and also as knowledgeable about the technicalities and the all the theory. He's a teacher. He's an excellent person. He's got this really when he plays, he's just so serious.
Yes,
He's like in a
very
different
into
space.
it. Yeah.
Harori is like, how would you describe Harori? And like his
Very confident.
very confident.
You could tell he enjoys it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has the musician face, but he also kind of gets into it where he loses himself and is just kind of like in it.
Yeah, and I love him for a lot of different reasons. One of which is the fact that he's young. He's in his 20s. He's taking his craft seriously. And so for, a lot of people, a lot of millennials unfairly get trashed for, reasons that he is completely opposite of. Like he is steeped in the tradition. He's hardworking. He's consistent. Yeah. And he's his own thing too.
And he has a good heart.
And the drummer, who I haven't met until Friday.
Yes.
Not only, insane. But he smiles half the time he's playing. Yeah. And I love that. So without further ado.
This is just a little snippet. Mm-hmm. I guess this can be our first artist spotlight because this is one of Harori's original songs. So this is us spotlighting him. Woo! So I will share his page on Facebook. He has an album coming out, and you can find him all over Philly, like all over Philly. So make sure you guys check him out. He's amazing, and he's a really good guy. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I love the young lions.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And before we move on, I just want to say flowers to my husband and his family. We lost a family member, and it's been a very, very tough week. And it's,
Send prayers to Naj's family, to Ish's family. They're all one family. I cannot imagine what it would be to lose a brother. My brother is my best friend, and my best friends are also my brothers. So however you slice it, I can't imagine. So just offer prayers and all the well-wishing. And I'm offering it, from me to you guys for sure.
And thank you to everyone who's reached out and sent love. So, what's going on downtown? Downtown.
I'm letting
Why
you rock.
Is that every time?
I jump in often.
But that was a good one.
Sorry.
You could have went downtown.
Well, you did it for me. There you go.
All right. So this weekend, remember, a rabbit laid an egg, and then Jesus popped out. So you got to go and find them eggs so you can find Jesus. Mm-hmm. Okay? So Saturday, April 8th,
keep going.
We have an egg hunt.
Hold on, let me find this one.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Egg hunt from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Free entry, family friendly. This will be at Eastside Charter School. Mm-hmm. Egg hunt, pictures with a bunny. Mm-hmm. Petting zoo.
Eastside Charter is where we number one got COVID tested
for the first time, yeah.
And we also got in trouble with how you remember the Chick-fil-A. You can't see her face right now because the flyer's up.
Shut up.
But yes.
Oh my God. And light refreshments. I have such an inner battle when it comes to petting zoos.
Okay, am I pulling that up next, or is that?
No, that's the same thing.
Oh, okay,
They have
gotcha.
a petting zoo.
Cool.
I want to pet all the animals
and take them home.
But I know it's so cruel. Them animals aren't fed right. They don't get enough exercise, and then they got all these snotty, nasty kids pulling and poking. Yeah. I don't want that. I want to be one of the ones petting. But
I'm the opposite, but yeah.
So that's Saturday. Then we have a jazz concert. Jazz concert at William Penn High School. New Stars on the Rise, and that is also from 12 to 2 at 504 North Market Street. So if you have the time and you are interested in seeing who's up and coming, you can go see that.
But jazz is alive.
Oh yes, alive and well.
In not only our state but everywhere, and that makes me happy. Even though I'm not a jazz musician, the tradition continues.
Life is a jazz.
Oh boy. Why are you making it creepy? Why are you making it like a dirty old lady? I don't understand. That's not what jazz is. Jazz is sophisticated.
Jazz is everything. Oh. It's everywhere, all the time.
I feel like I'm being groped by an old lady right now, but
how the tables have turned. And we have a job fair.
Let me keep going.
Get them working papers, okay? Multi-employer job fair, April 4th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's tomorrow. You can possibly get a $500 signing bonus for select positions. And this is at Delaware Park's Casino. So, same day interviews, on the spot hiring, all that jazz.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
All that jazz. You tied in, that was well done. I can appreciate that, sort of, not really, but okay, keep going.
And then this, I just want to,
a lot.
This, the artist jam and coffee, I have to also say, I'm a little angry.
Why?
Because I registered for this, because I was ready.
Oh, they don't want you there.
And it's for visual artists.
Well, you know,
and you're supposed to bring some of your artwork. And
wait, if you're a camera guy, if you take photography, are you included, or do you have to be able to paint like Jaquan?
I don't know. But
Shannon, we need some clarity.
Yeah, we need clarity because you uninvited.
Because I paint with my voice. You understand, Shannon? I can paint with my voice.
I am a piece of artwork. That's Saturday, April 8th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
By the way, if I ever come to your event and you start clapping like this, I'm leaving. Continue.
And last but not least, this Wednesday is the Delaware Music Network open mic at the Wilmington Library.
Did you give me a flyer for that one?
No, I didn't.
Okay, keep going.
No.
Sorry. No worries.
So you can go Wilmington Library at 7 p.m.
Joe's doing his thing.
Yes,
you know
he
what I mean?
is.
Yeah,
Yes,
staying busy. Man,
And
I think the next one.
His birthday's coming up, too.
And the next Oddly Dope I know already has Jahidi involved, so that'll be a dope one.
Yes.
Pun intended, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what's going on. Downtown. Okay.
Downtown. You know that song?
No, and why are you gyrating?
Because the song's about going SUV, SWV. You don't.
No,
wow.
Shut up. Shush.
Wait. For all the people who were older than her, who grew up in my range, you know Downtown by SWV. Wow. That's wild that you don't know that song.
Does anyone in the audience know this? Oh, there's nobody here to talk back to you.
Wow.
Let's move on.
I'm not knocking you. I'm just shocked that you don't know that. Wow. Okay.
Sure, I would know if you sang it right.
Downtown. Never mind. It's a
put your chin back.
I can't. I gotta tuck it. Go ahead.
With you?
Yeah, it's probably when I'm sparring too.
So Jay is very, very, very excited.
Oh, okay. I am.
To show you his work of art.
Well, no.
He went to the LGBTQ Youth March at Old
Youth
Town
Rally
Hall.
Against Hate. Youth March Against Hate.
Yes, at Old Town Hall on Friday before the Clifford Brown Year-Round series. And he got some great footage and was able to talk to a few people. And I watched it, and it was very good. So he's excited to bring this to you.
Well, I'm excited to bring it to you, not because of how beautifully shot or, how great I think I did at editing. I was moved by the words that I heard, and I was moved by the experience to the point where my entire perception and my just general opinions of what it is to be transgender means. We'll talk about it after the segment, and it's a kind of long segment, but I think you'll be engaged the whole time. And it moved me. And my main goal, honestly, is that it brings understanding. You know what I mean? Because I think that's very much missing. So, you know, enjoy this and we'll talk about it in a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jay here with Naj and Jay, and I am absolutely honored to have this opportunity to have a conversation with Representative Morrison. I will let you do all the talking. Please let the people know what we are here for and why you organized this really important event.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled, first of all, with the turnout. It's amazing,
fantastic.
And we're still waiting on some people. But this is an LGBTQ youth march against hate. This is part of a series of nationwide marches today. If you go out online and find the site, it's so cool because you see all the dots all over the United States where this is happening today. And we're here really because of what we see in the nation right now. There are several hundred anti-LGBTQ pieces of legislation in state legislatures across the nation right now. It's a record number. Also, 14 states this year already, by March, have passed anti-LGBTQ legislation. You know, we're being attacked from every angle. We've even got our drag queens being attacked. We've got our youth being attacked. We've got especially transgender folks being attacked. So we're here to just say, we're here, we're not going anywhere, and to send a message to our youth especially that you are valued and seen and loved.
Now, was this event organized specifically due to what happened in Nashville, or was this something that was on the fire a little bit earlier because of the other stuff going on?
It was earlier, yeah.
Okay.
This really was in response to what we see going on around the nation in legislatures and other areas. But also, today is the International Day of Transgender Visibility.
Okay.
So it worked out well to kind of combine the two. So
Sure,
yeah.
Absolutely. So what kinds of things are being done in Delaware to protect, you know, everyone's rights in that regard?
Yeah. The good news is we've already done a lot, which is terrific. You know, Delaware has really been a leader in LGBTQ plus issues in a lot of ways, but there's a lot more to do. And now that we have 5 members of the LGBTQ community, including myself down in Dover, we're working on legislation right now, and we've already gotten some passed. Last year I worked with Senator Marie Pinckney and the Attorney General's office to really modernize and significantly update our hate crimes legislation, which was really important. So we're working through different pieces, yeah.
Gotcha. Is there anything else that you would like to let the people know or kind of say with regards to what's happening today at this event?
Just anybody who can't be here and who's watching this, who may be LGBTQ plus or who may be thinking of coming out or who is struggling, just know that there are people who care about you, know that there are resources out there for you, know that Delaware has a lot of great, terrific groups for the LGBTQ community, and you're not alone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Today, with every ounce of hate thrown at us, we return a pound of love. Today is about power. We gather today to take back our power. American abolitionist Frederick Douglass said, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. If there is no struggle, there is no progress." Today we make a demand. We demand that members of our community enjoy the equality, opportunities, and sense of safety that should be afforded every human being.
One therapist in this state at the time. One. I don't know if you're listening, but Jill Galmer, you saved our family's life. When I emailed Jill about my 3-year-old who had at this point been diagnosed as clinically depressed in the 98th percentile, it was a book. I'm like, my child has stopped talking. My child is not answering to her name. And I was like, I'm watching my child die in front of me and I don't know what to do. And she wrote me back like within 20 minutes. She only saw adults at that point in time. But her email said, I would like for you to come in because I think we can set a precedent. She had colleagues tell her if she helped us, she could lose her license. And it wasn't a good idea. And in the most professional of terms, she said, go fuck yourself. And she saved our family. She was the one who finally, after months, and for the haters are like, you're just letting your kids do it. No, we do go through so much to make sure everything is right. When she said you have a choice to make, a happy little girl or a dead little boy, I was like, well, you know what? I guess I'm going to have a daughter. And I'm so blessed to have her. She will be 20 years old in October. So from 4 to 20, this child has never wavered. But it was very lonely. Every mommy group we had been in told us to leave. Several of my friends, with the exception of their godmother, who thankfully I've been friends with for over 30 years, left. My family stopped talking to me for 2 years, and I was alone. But in the end of the day, was I really? You know why? And for all you parents and all you educators and anyone here today who is like, I'm going through this, I know someone who is going through this, they feel very alone, let them know about this. Because what I didn't realize was while I was feeling alone, you were all waiting. And I'm so grateful to have such a beautiful family.
Sure, you could call me a woman, but you'd be a bit wrong. I am like a woman in the way I persevere in the face of adversity, in the way I'm both soft and strong. Sure, you could call me a woman, but you could also call me a tree. In the way that my roots grow deep, in the way that I am flexible and constantly grow. Sure, you could call me a tree, but you could also call me a mountain. In the way that I stand tall, in the way I am grounded and steady. Sure, you could call me a mountain, but you could also call me an ocean. The way I am both peaceful and ferocious, the way I have so many stories and secrets to share. You could call me the ocean, but you could also call me the sun. In the way I am powerful, in the way I am bright and I share my energy with those around me. Sure, you could call me the sun, but you could also call me the moon. In the way that I am intuitive, in the way I am magical and ever-changing. You could call me the moon, or the sun, or the ocean, or a mountain, a tree, or even a woman. I am like all of these beautiful features of nature, but I am as much a woman as I am a tree.
So could you please just tell everybody why you're here and what the whole event means to you?
I'm here just because all of this is really important to me, and fighting for myself and everybody else who this affects is really important to me. I've seen a lot of people lose their life and lose who they are because of all the hate and all the things that are wrong with our legislation, and it's really important to me that I fight and that I make the world better for other people.
Absolutely. How did you hear about the event?
My friend Vivi reposted it on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go with you.
Awesome. Can I ask one question? A little bit personal. How old are you?
15.
15, okay. So for how long has this issue been impacting you personally?
I've known I was trans since I was 10,
Okay.
and so that long. And I had a lot of issues with family and with parents and people at my school. So it's just always been something that's really affected me, and it took me a long time to be able to be comfortable and do the things that I do.
How did you get comfortable?
I just did. It took a while of figuring out who I was and going through a lot of different stuff and trying out different labels and ways of existing until I finally found something that I was comfortable with.
A couple more questions. Well, the last big question I'll ask you is like, what advice would you give to someone in your age bracket who is struggling with the same dilemma?
Can I curse?
Absolutely.
Okay. Fuck anybody who tells you not to tell other people, not to show yourself and be who you are. Who you are, no matter what, in any form is okay. Even if you're one of the cringe gay kids who wears bunny hats and wears pride flags to school, it doesn't matter. If that's what makes you happy, do it and be who you are and be whatever makes you happy, because eventually you're gonna find the people that make you happy. I have an amazing group of friends and an amazing boyfriend who I love more than anything. And eventually you'll get there.
Do you think, last question, that things are moving in the right direction overall?
I think yes and no. I think legislatively we're moving backwards. I think so many politicians and people are trying to erase us and bring us back to where we were. But I think we're getting louder and we're getting stronger. And they obviously can't erase us, because if they were to kill every trans person alive right now, tomorrow another one would be born. Another 1,000 would be born.
I can dig it.
They can't get rid of us. And so we're getting louder and more proud, and they can't stop that.
Is there anything else you want to say before we end this little interview? And I thank you for your time.
No.
Okay, thank you. You're brave. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, so thank you for watching that, and I hope that you gained at least some understanding of something that, quite frankly, I did not have and still don't have a deep understanding of. And I have no problems, it's important for me to be honest about how I feel about anything. And I really want to take just a couple of more minutes to say specifically how I was impacted by being present at that event. I have never had any problem with being gay or being transgender or any of the LGBTQ things, whatever falls under all of that. I have never had a real issue with it. I've heard so many people say such silly things as the whole worried about going to the bathroom because this person's going to be there. I mean, if we're honest about who the real perverts are, it's really just men, right? Like, men do a lot of bad things. And my thing, and I think this holds true for a lot of people, when I really looked at it, and my wife really has tried her best to make me be more understanding because she works with this community a lot as a counselor, and she's seen much more regularly up close and personal what these children go through. And as an educator and as someone who works with children, I have a different kind of sympathy and understanding with that. But I'll say this. When I really looked at me and asked myself what really was not jibing with the idea of being transgender and all of these pronouns and having to be considerate of this, that, and the other, I realized that at the end of the day, for me, that I was mildly inconvenienced by having to be a little bit more considerate in terms of how I think, or in terms of how I talk and how I approach people. And, I'm someone who people always misspell my name, and I don't really care about it. You know what I mean? But that's completely different. And at the end of the day, I realized, like I just said, that all of these things that have been changing in society, they haven't impacted me. They haven't caused any significant difficulty or problem or danger to my life. There are much bigger things that impact me in a much more serious way. And after observing and listening and watching, I realize that I was just kind of being a jerk in my head. And here's the thing. We say we're American and we believe in freedom. And, I'm an artist and I believe in freedom and having your own, you're fundamentally as an artist, the main thing that I'm supposed to do is express myself to the fullest extent to my most, unique and original self. I have to be completely true to myself. And there are different religions that I don't understand. There are all kinds of different parts of life where I don't think like everybody else. But who the hell am I to judge or say how someone should or shouldn't feel as long as it's not bothering me, as long as it's not hurting me? So, and especially as children, because we all, at least enough people, understand that these young people are literally getting to a point where they're, I don't want to say mutilating, but they're causing themselves significant change and often putting themselves in a lot of danger in terms of just their overall health to make these changes. And I can't say exactly how I would move if it was my child, because these teenagers, those years are extremely critical in so many different ways. But at the end of the day, in as much as my job as an adult is to guide any person, any child in the right direction, my first thing, the first job that I have with any child, my child and any child that I work with, is I have to listen, I have to love, and I have to try to understand. Even if I disagree, it's not my job to judge. And I don't care what all of the great religions tell you, don't judge and let God handle that. And there's probably nothing to judge. And if it doesn't really bother you, get over it. Because there's no need to walk around with hate in your heart for a small, teeny, tiny part of our society that really has no impact on what you have to do day to day. That's my take on it. If you disagree, fine. It's all good. But I appreciate what I learned. And again, I hope you learned from it too. And I'll leave it at that. So let's move on. Everybody, what else are we talking about? Yeah,
I think it's important that we remember to respect people and be kind. That's the biggest thing. Respect and kindness.
Yeah, I could completely disagree with your religion and say that doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm not going to be like, you're a terrible person.
No.
You don't belong here and you're not welcome in my house. And especially as a child. If a child comes to you and your first thought is when they say something that you disagree with, you're a terrible, gross person, check yourself because it's a child.
Well, I'm proud of you.
It's not about me at all, but thank you.
Oh. We're really working on this compliment thing. We really are. So now that spring has sprung, we're leaping. We're leaping into the season of ice cream. Even though I can't eat it because it makes my tummy bubble.
She gets the farts when she eats the ice cream.
That ain't it.
You get the poops? It's like that.
Listen, you want to see Naja angry? Let me eat some ice cream.
No. Wait, is there at least a point where when you eat it, there's like a half hour of enjoyment?
Oh, yeah. It's
okay,
like
so
a
give me...
half hour, and then I'm like...
Is it a half hour?
It's about that.
Oh, no.
Once it hits my stomach, like, for real.
Okay. So what kind of ice cream would you... Like, if you could just...
Coffee ice cream.
Coffee ice cream.
All day.
So I'd be like...
I used to eat the tub, like...
Oh, no.
Woo!
So I could be like, all right, Naj, listen. Today is the day. We're just going to have the poops. And I'm going to get you some delicious, organic, farm fresh coffee ice cream. You put it in your mouth, you eat it, and what's going on right now? Like from the rip.
Heaven.
Okay, you're like,
I'm in
this
heaven.
is delicious. This is
amazing. If it's Haagen-Dazs,
Oh, Haagen-Dazs. Okay.
What? With a sugar cone?
Yes.
Or sugar cone crumbles.
Okay.
Baby.
So we're in our happy place, and it's going down. It's like, oh. And
vanilla ice cream with cinnamon crunch cereal.
Okay. I can dig it.
My stomach hurt.
Oh no, it's like that. But you get about a half hour of joy, and then how long on the back end, pun intended?
Oh my God, it could be hours.
Oh no.
Yeah, it could be hours.
That's lactose
and here's
intolerant.
because I would eat it before bed, like as my treat. I'd come home from work, have my ice cream, and I was good. And I would drink water with it, right? So I'm like, maybe it'll clean through my system. No. And I'd be going, running back and forth.
Oh, that's terrible. That's
losing weight.
Now listen, there are some people who say they have food allergies, but they're just being snots about it, if we're honest. But that's a real lactose intolerance
It's
right
only
there.
ice cream.
Only ice cream?
And sometimes mac and cheese. But I can do pizza. I could do like cheese on a sandwich. But ice cream or milkshake?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
But everyone I'm like burping.
I don't know because I'm drinking
because
the beer.
we're talking about ice cream and my body is having PTSD right now.
That's hysterical, actually.
So everyone in Delaware, or at least this side of Delaware, knows the place to go is Dairy Palace. We wait on the opening day.
Yeah.
And we used to go when I was a kid too.
So you did go to Dairy Palace?
Yeah, my dad
I didn't
used
know
to
that. I
take
feel like
us.
I've told you about the place and you're like, what is that? But okay,
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Oh,
We would just go to the ice cream place.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love their ice cream. I mean, can I kind of go off the deep end a little bit about this?
Okay.
So I was working in Lancaster, right?
Oh my God.
Sorry, and
You had fresh churned milks and butters and fresh ice cream in Lancaster.
I was working in Lancaster, and I used to always have to do the morning drop when I was working for my buddy. Like, so I would drop off, the deposit, and I would have to give the lady my license. And she was like, "Oh, you're from Delaware?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, I was in Newcastle, and I remember I loved it. I used to always go to this place called Dairy Palace." And I was like, "Dairy Palace? I used to pass that place, but I never went before." She was like, "Well, you should go." And I went. And I followed what that lady told me, and it changed my life. Dairy Palace is definitely one of my top, if not my favorite absolute place, like top 3 for sure for ice cream. And yeah.
Something I realize is that you have this country accent that comes out of nowhere.
I don't know what I
That
did.
is it's so ghetto country. It doesn't make it like the whole time you were just talking just now. I was just like, "Oh, you did not talk to that woman like that." My God.
I don't know what I said. I literally don't know.
You got this little twang. And I'm like, why, God? Why? Everybody who eat at Dairy Palace talk like that?
No, they got the Newcastle accent. I don't know how you avoided it either. God, your parents did well in making you...
Pageants.
Oh my gosh, because listen, let me stop before somebody gets offended, but yeah.
Dairy Palace is open. Was it today, right?
This is day one.
Today was day one.
I got my standard vanilla caramel sundae.
Like, it's crazy because I love ice cream, but I hate ice cream because it makes me so sick. But if you were looking for a sweet treat during the summer, this is the place to go.
Yeah, cash only.
Okay, kiss ash only. Brandywine High School.
Yeah.
Brandywine High School. Why don't you tell me? You know a little bit more about it than I do.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The bottom line is a threat was called in.
Did you see it was on Facebook?
No, I didn't see it was on Facebook.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm-mm.
Somebody
Go ahead.
has screenshotted a message saying that I and 3 other people will be, we're starting at certain floor at 10 a.m.
So I didn't realize that it was an online thing, but a threat was made.
Yeah.
And so from what I understand is the school did everything that they could to, prepare and be safe and protect everyone. So, a whole lot of police officers showed up. I think the district actually showed up to also check in and make sure everyone's fine. And a ton of kids left and went home for the day because obviously parents are not trying to take any risks.
Nope.
And they took their kids home. And the overall, I think almost all of the teachers and staff stayed and, did their job, which is obviously just in itself a courageous act. And for me, like, I'm trying not to set myself off, but it was a crappy day for me in that regard because I get a call from my wife in the first thing in the morning saying that there could be a shooting here. And in as much as we understand that bomb threats and all those kinds of things happen. At the same time, there are shootings happening.
Literally.
And I know that none of the ones that have occurred have actually kind of been, advertised, if you will, ahead of time. But on every, like the frustrating thing one of the frustrating things for me is it's like you expect for a school to be a common ground for safety. And we have gotten to a point in this country where it's not. And as someone who works in education, I have a wife who works in education, I have kids who are getting their education, I'm always thinking about things that I shouldn't have to think about. I have a great life. I live in America. I'm educated. Everything is cool, but like, why am I worried about my wife getting shot in school? Why am I walking through an elementary school thinking about what I'm going to do if someone comes in here and tries to mess with the kids that I'm responsible for? Why am I having to consider this? It's absurd. And I'm going to say the same thing that I said last week about what happened in Nashville. What are we doing? There are many solutions to problems, but the biggest issue that I have with the Republican Party in particular is that they're doing nothing. If you disagree with the Democrats for wanting to have more laws and wanting to take guns away or make it harder to get guns, and you want to have it, be really easy to get a gun because you believe that the Second Amendment doesn't say anything about a well-regulated militia, that somehow doesn't matter, fine, then do something. You better spend money to always have like a small Navy SEAL team stuck at your school. You better spend money to have, the whole place armored. You better spend money on something. You got to give people extra easy access to mental health because there are a lot of layers of this thing. If everybody gets to have guns, because here's the thing on the flip side of it. This is why I get so stuck, and I'm going to be here for a minute, guys. Sorry. Like, okay, you want to do nothing. But then here's the flip side of it, right? For the people who say that we should have no guns or, that you shouldn't have easy access, I don't think you should have easy access. But here's the weird part about it. When the threat comes for potential violence with guns, you know how we prepare to defend ourselves? We get people with guns. So I want to have guns and know how to defend myself, not because I'm some gun nut, but because that's clearly the only way to stop them if we're in a country where it's the Second Amendment and you can't get rid of guns. And I am never going to say that teachers should have to carry, but if a teacher decides that they want to carry and get trained and you have gotten mental tests to make sure that you're not going to spaz out and do something you shouldn't do, they should have a right. I should be able to be in that building armed if I'm trained. Why? Because number one, I should be able to protect the kids. Not even say myself first. Like, obviously I matter and I deserve to come home and not get shot by a psycho. But I work with babies. I work with 9, 10, 11-year-olds.
I think the fundamental thing right here with your entire 2 rants.
Yeah.
America don't care about their babies. They care about a fetus, but they don't care about the babies.
So you got to give me some way to protect myself outside of just run and hide in what we're going to show you and run and hide in some closet. Like, that's not how I get down. Like, if I'm attacked, I'm going to fight you back. In my response, like, I'll be damned if I'm going to be sitting around with somebody trying to shoot kids and I'm just going to be like, stop. Not that someone is like, I'm not knocking someone. I understand. But you understand. Like, I want to be able to do more than just scream and run. I'm here to protect. It's my job. I'm a man. You understand? So do something. I know that Delaware is doing things in terms of gun control, and I understand the logic behind it. I don't really know if it's going to make a difference because it's still super easy to get guns anywhere in this country. But on the flip side of it, for all the Republicans who do nothing, because this is a place where legislation can make a difference. You understand? You can give people access to health care. You can harden up these schools. If we insist on having all the guns, then I guess we're gonna all have to live in fortified castles, and that's how American education will be. We'll all be in basically, jail cells so that we're protected from, all of these people who are clearly suffering from mental illness. And yeah, it's really frustrating. I don't like to have to worry about whether or not my wife is coming home and she's only a guidance counselor. It's ridiculous. So,
welcome to America, where the only thing we protect is our pockets and the underdeveloped babies.
Yeah, well, yeah,
that's where we live. I really don't. We had a video to show you of a school, but I don't really want to show it because.
But ask yourself if this is what reality should be. Ask yourself if this is what reality should be. Let's find this thing right here. Where did I put this? Oh, no, where is it? Hold on 1 second. There we go. Ask yourself if this makes sense. Ask yourself if as the first world nation who has the most money, if this is how schools should be. Well, this is what it is. We got to do something. Okay, this is how it should be? Really? This is the ideal? Oh, shoot. Of course. Hold on. There we go.
You can see here there's no handle on the outside, so in the event of an emergency, a teacher or administrator is able to close the door and lock it so the students are kept safely inside.
That's the ideal. That's the solution. I'm just going to put up giant steel walls and we'll hide behind it.
I have been battling whether or not I want to have a conversation with Journey about the gun violence in schools. I'm pretty sure she probably knows, but I am having a real problem with explaining to her what happened and what could happen and why it could happen. I think that it's terrible that we don't have enough mental health professionals in our school system. I think it's terrible that we don't have enough resources so that the teachers aren't overwhelmed. I'm upset that we don't have enough resources so that the children have everything that they need going into the school, so parents aren't stressed out and children aren't stressed out because other kids are making fun of them because they can't get what they need from home.
It's on you.
It's just so disheartening that I'm raising children in a world where not only do they have to worry about being Black, not only do they have to worry about, going to school and it's exhausting, the amount of things that we have to warn our kids about now.
And past even the schools, it's like America is a very sick place, from our obesity and heart issues,
cancer,
to our psychology. And I know everyone knows this, but we're
living in a world where people are paying $15 a month for a blue check.
It should be much easier to get access to a counselor if you need it. It shouldn't be cost prohibitive, especially if we can spend money on so many other things. And I'm not going to go down this whole right now, but that has got to be part of the solution. Yeah. Access to mental health care has got to expand.
And you know what I love? My church, my pastor, he makes sure that he says mental health is a real thing.
Of course it is.
You can go to church, but you can also go to counseling.
Yeah.
So I don't know who needs to hear that, but you can do both.
Well, yeah, because, obviously if you're a believer in Jesus and you sprain your knee, sure, you'll pray about it.
But you're also going to go to the doctor.
But you're also going to go to the doctor.
And guess who created the doctor? Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus gave him the strength to become a doctor.
So
that he can help you.
Thank Jesus for your doctor and your local counselor and utilize him in the name of Jesus.
Thank Allah, thank Buddha, thank Taoism and everything. Great enlightenment, all of it. Listen, but get a counselor.
When you're meditating to Buddha, thank Buddha for bringing us counselors who can talk you through your problems and repair your mental illness.
Jesus.
Literally, Jesus. What would Jesus do? Go to a counselor.
Listen, they call him the counselor.
A wonderful counselor.
Oh God.
Man.
Woo!
It's been a fun show today, guys.
My God, I don't think I've heard Jay talk so much.
I'm sorry. I had a rough day, and these babies changed my mind, man.
Listen.
But go ahead. Let's go with some fun stuff. Go ahead. Let's be fun. We're gonna be fun for the rest of the show. No more rants. Yes.
Florida man.
There we go. I gotta get the Florida graphic to come on. Be like Florida man.
Florida man.
And it should end with like a gator going chomp. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so earlier in the show I mentioned getting drunk without getting drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Florida man says he reeked of alcohol, but he wasn't drinking. Here's what was really happening.
Okay.
A Florida man spent years wondering why colleagues and coworkers questioned his alcohol consumption because he stunk. He smelled like a booze addict.
Okay.
So much so that he got what do you call it?
Oh, go ahead. I'm going to watch you stumble through this. I'm not helping.
A DUI.
Yeah.
That's how you know I ain't got one. He had 2 DUIs, and he hadn't touched a drink. His wife thought he was drinking secretly, and she was like,
what?
Yes, she thought he was drinking secretly because he smelled so bad, and would get home, his words would be slurring, and he was like gross. He was a drunkard. Right. Everybody had a problem with it. He ended up losing his job, had to sell his home, all of that.
What? I'm listening.
He had not picked up a single drink. This man.
Hold on. It's on you. Break it to him.
Let me find the exact name. He is suffering from auto brewery syndrome.
Continue.
His body is turning food into booze and getting him drunk.
I find that to be really interesting.
And I don't know if this is a blessing or a curse because
he's got to be a relative of Jesus because Jesus turned water into wine.
Oh my God.
And this man turns food into beer.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
My God.
He's one of the descendants of the disciples, for sure.
I'm picking up what you putting down.
The man is a blessing.
So wait a minute.
What was that book that what's the term? It was a book that Will Smith recommended. Oh my gosh. Okay. When you change something from something, I can't remember the term. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But according to the National Institute of Health, auto brewery syndrome is a gut fermentation syndrome condition in which ethanol is produced through fermentation by fungi or bacteria in the gastrointestinal system.
He probably was a fun guy too with all the alcohol in his system.
Imagine every time you eat something.
Imagine every time you eat something.
No, wrong time.
You're getting drunk.
No, see, the reason why my songs work.
Sorry.
Are you drunk?
No, but I've had 3 sips of a beer.
I wonder if he has is it a sweet buzz or like a girl's buzz?
Is it fun at least? Is like eating fun, or does it just become like you're always hungover? Because that's not fun.
So I wonder so he got 2 WD.
And they gotta take that
2
back.
2 DUIs.
Because that's not his fault.
And he lost money because he had to sell his house.
Dang, that's
and
wild.
And he was stinking.
I want to look this condition up more.
He reeked.
Yeah. That's wild.
Oh my God.
Well, I can't imagine that, and I actually kind of feel bad for the guy. That's pretty
God,
crazy.
I wonder what his farts smell like. Ah!
Guinness, maybe?
Ah!
Tequila?
Ah!
And does he also drink?
He said he never took a drink.
He never drinks ever.
He never drank.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Is that what you call death breath?
I don't know what you call it.
Well, fermentation is bacteria. Scientifically.
Hope.
No.
Yeah. Stop it right now.
Auto brewery syndrome. Imagine the amount of people who are going to watch this show.
But brewery sounds like a terribly unscientific term.
I know. Imagine people who are now going to say, oh, I have auto brewery syndrome. That I don't drink at all.
Oh, yeah.
I can completely work.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
you stop to get a DUI, you know, and you say, I have auto brewery syndrome.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Dang. Slurring his words, passing out. He said he felt tired all the time.
That's just after eating. That's a shame. That sucks. That's not fun.
I wonder if he was sweaty.
That's not fun.
If I've been around a few drunky drunks, and let me tell you something, they don't smell good. I don't want to say mean things, but well, friends, this was a tough show.
But it had to be said. The things had to
Yes.
be said.
You stink. You stink now. Thank you for watching. We love you. We will be back next Monday. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share, like, comment. We need you guys to head on over to YouTube more often. Tell everybody to go to YouTube and like our stuff and things. We love you so much.
Yeah, and make sure that you, if you're an artist, submit
Yes,
some stuff.
send
to
us your goods, your music, your artwork, your things. We want to talk about you because we love you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good one.